Hey everybody, and welcome back. It's me, Cole. That's my name, and this is my channel. And today I'm going to be reviewing Kagurabachi Volume 5. This will be following up the last four volume reviews, and it'll be the last one for a while. I think I said in the last video, Volume 6 doesn't come out physically in English, at least to my knowledge, until February 3rd. So you probably won't see the next review for Kagurabachi until sometime after that. But I have other videos cooking, and I'm going to relaunch the comic podcast I do with my buddy. So this channel will still have videos coming out. I have a lot of videos I want to do for this channel. It's really more about like getting the time to do them. And I also want to do some like normal book reviews or like prose book reviews because I have a decent amount of those on my other shelf here that I want to get to eventually as well. So look out for all that kind of stuff. I mean, this channel is just kind of like what I want to talk about, and it just so happens that I read a lot of comics and manga. So that's where we're at right now. But moving on to Kagurabachi Volume 5. So being the last volume that I'm going to get to read for about 2 months or so, especially because I'm reading it physically and I'm trying not to be spoiled. Again, expect spoilers for all four previous volumes and this one in this video. I'll try and put the chapters either on the screen or in the description. I don't think I decided that yet. I filmed this and Volume 4 back to back, so these might seem a little redundant as far as intros are concerned. Rambling aside, let's get into it. So, as opposed to the last volume, which was very character-driven, I think some of the best writing character-wise in the series so far. I even think it probably usurps this volume as far as that stuff, because this volume does not have a lot of that. This volume is basically just one big fight, which I am not complaining about because it looks magnificent. But essentially, this is the kind of culminating battle between Chihiro and Kiyoru Sazanami, who is the guy who was running the storehouse and the auction that we've been building up to for like the last like volume and a half ish, maybe even the last two volumes, basically. I guess this Rakuzachi arc kind of spans 3 and 4. Sorry, I just touched the books and realized that you can't see them, but volume 3 and 4 are over there on a shelf somewhere. Anyway, so yeah, this opens basically where Volume 4 left off. Chihiro falls into the storehouse. He gets N10 back. Cloud Gouger is off the table. It's been completely destroyed. And now it's just Chihiro versus Kiora, and they fight. They just go at it for a while. It's a really cool fight. Hakuri is like backing Chihiro up by using his like teleporting ability. And during the fight, in the background of the fight, which Kiora, I don't know if he realizes or not, Chihiro is going around and touching all the people who are in the storehouse. Because part of the whole ethos? No, that's the wrong word. But part of the whole reasoning behind Chihiro wanting to do this so bad, not only to get his sword back and to take down the Rakuzaichi, but he wants to save the people who are in there. There was a small thing that happened, I believe, back in Volume 3, with this little kid whose sister or his mom is one of the human trafficked kind of hostages in the storehouse. And we kind of keep seeing flashes of her. Chihiro's like trying to get to her, but he's saving all these people. Everybody he touches with his spirit energy, because he's connected to Hakuri, Hakuri can teleport out. So throughout the battle, that's kind of what Chihiro's doing. Chihiro's fighting him, and with Hakuri's help, Chihiro's also like kind of teleporting around, which he can't normally do, but it's really throwing Kiora off, and he kind of gets the upper hand on Kiora, and it's looking like he's probably just going to win, and this is going to be kind of said and done. But then Kiora pulls the crazy move of just picking up the Shinichi. The Shinichi is the most powerful enchanted blade. It's the one that was supposed to be auctioned off, and it's the one that like everybody's like, oh my god. And the thing with the enchanted blades is that we learned previously is that they are bound to their user until their user dies. They have like a whole system of that, but they literally say in this volume the Shinichi is so powerful that it kind of has a mind of its own, or like a will of its own. And so when Kiora picks it up, he literally can't even draw the blade, which I thought was such a nice touch. Like, it's so powerful that he can't even draw the blade. He's fighting Chihiro with the sheath on the blade, which I thought was just super badass. It makes me super hyped to see what this sword is going to do in the future of the series, because, wow. And also, its powers, I don't even really know how to describe. All of the blades are kind of themed in some way. Cloud Gouger is like clouds and atmospheric stuff. N10, Chihiro's sword, is like based on his like fish, so it's kind of like water fish based, but it's also like shadow based a little bit in some way. And this blade seems to be like bug based, because the powers we see are like a butterfly and then like a centipede, and then it like grows like a field of flowers at one point a little bit later in the volume. But essentially, they're fighting, they're going at it, and they're also like destroying the storehouse while they're at it, and using the Shinichi because it's first of all not bound to him, and also just so powerful, is literally killing Kiora. And while this is happening, Hakuri is teleporting people out, and it's killing him. Like he is like unable to continue to help Chihiro, so he's like losing his energy. And then Hayuki shows up, and she's the kind of Kaminabi like strong, super strong warrior chick, and she's like, "What's going on?" And Hakuri's like, "I don't know, it's pretty bad in there. My dad is using like basically the most powerful nuclear weapon esque power." And she's like, "Send me in." So she joins the fight, which I did think was really cool. Her and Chihiro start fighting and going at it together against the Shinichi. And also, I don't know if this was explained previously. I don't remember if it was or not, but Chihiro has a power that, like, if he fights somebody, he can take their power and use it, like, for himself, but he can only do that with, like, one at a time. So it's kind of like a copy technique. Like, I'm thinking, like, Yuta from JJK kind of thing. Um, I don't know if that was explained previously. I think it probably was because N10 has been pretty much explained like what its base powers are. But yeah, so he whips out Flamebone and starts using her power through his sword, which I thought was cool. I'm like totally for it because it gives Chihiro more of a range of abilities that he can have. But I did think like if it wasn't really talked about before, it's a little bit of an ass pull. But it's from their previous battle, so it's not as egregious, I don't think. Regardless of that, they start fighting Kiora, and they still haven't gotten everybody out of the storehouse, but they teleport back to the real world. I can't remember if it's Hakuri or Kiora, but one of them teleports them back to the real world. They're back at the auction, and Kiora literally is such a freak. I kind of love like his dedication to this auction thing, like his psychotic dedication to it. It also seems like the blade is possessing him a little bit, which I love. It's kind of like that like Black Blade kind of idea where it's like possessing its user. I thought that was like a really interesting touch to the Shinichi. It makes it a lot more like menacing. But yeah, he's trying to run the auction like while he's got the Shinichi and while he's fighting Chihiro and Hayuki. But he's basically like he uses the one power and it creates like this field of flowers and swords and all this stuff, and it just starts killing all the like people at the auction and like causing like this massacre. And so it's like getting way out of hand. But Chihiro kind of says to Hakuri like, we still need to save the people in the storehouse because if he's gonna die because the Shinichi is going to kill him regardless. Like, I need to go in there and save those people. And Mr. Shiba's like, don't do that. It's too dangerous. You can't do it. And this is like the kind of big moment. Chihiro goes in, and Hakuri's like, you have so and so much amount of time. Like, you need to do this super quick. While Hayuki is like still fighting Kiora with the Flamebone because they need Kiora alive to get the people out. Otherwise, all those people will just disappear with his death. So Chihiro goes in, and of course, you know, he saves everybody. All the people at the auction, all the like shitty like underworld guys massacred, but Chihiro does save all the hostages, including the little kid. I forget his name. He's called something, Mr. something. But the little kid saves his sister too. And then when he comes out, they have a little bit of a back and forth after he saves everybody, but for the most part, the Shinichi just kind of kills Kiora. He's pronounced dead. And then the rest of the volume is kind of like a smash cut. I really hit that. It's kind of like a smash cut because Chihiro is also just like beat to fuck, as you might imagine. And so he wakes up in the hospital. We don't really see exactly what happens. He picks up both of the swords, the Shinichi and N10, because obviously the Kaminami want both of his swords. They don't think he should have one, all that stuff. But he makes a deal with them. What we learn once he wakes up in the hospital is that he makes a deal with Hayuki and the Kaminami members. He'll give them the Shinichi to kind of like hold and like store and make sure that nobody can have it if he can keep N10, but he's going to join the Kaminabi, which is like this big moment because like he's kind of been against them too because his dad left the Kaminabi and created this whole big stink. That's why Mr. Shiba like won't go around them. And Mr. Shiba's like, all right, if that's what you want to do. But he wants to join the Kaminabi because he has a plan to at least like retrieve all the swords, or at least get them back in the hands of the Kaminabi. Because even though the Kaminabi are like not perfect, they're still like the technical like better side. They're like the government law enforcement sorcerers instead of like the underworld sorcerers. I really like the gray area to them because it's clear that they're a political entity who like makes very callous decisions and they want to use the swords as weapons, but they're also like a lot of their members are like good people. I think that's much more real world. I like that kind of gray area aspect to it, and it adds a little bit more intrigue to the world. This is where we also reveal that the sword bearers, the living sword bearers of the other enchanted blades, are being hidden in like these like high security facilities all around Japan. And so this is obviously setting up that we're gonna have to go like retrieve the sword bearers and break them out or save them from being assassinated, because the Hishaku, the bad guys, the like underworld kind of like evil guys, they want to kill the sword bearers because they have the swords and they want to use them, but they have to kill the bearers first. So it's kind of setting up the next arc, setting up all of that. Chihiro goes, he wants to join the Kaminabi. He has to go before all the kind of Kaminabi higher-ups and have this little like trial. He has to prove that he's Rokuhiro's son, because they don't really believe him at first. Luckily, Azumi, who's a character we haven't seen for a while, I think since Volume 3, but he's like kind of Mr. Shiba's friend and also kind of on Chihiro's side. He's one of the higher-ups because he's like super powerful, awesome, badass dude. Or at least so we've been told. We haven't really seen him fight yet. But he kind of tells them under the table, like, if stuff starts to go wrong, I will stand up for you and, like, say that you're Rokuhiro's son. But they want to kind of keep it under wraps that Azumi has been, like, actually helping them, because that would be really bad for him. Luckily, it doesn't go that way, because they're having this whole conversation. Chihiro's making a good case. There's one or two detractors and one or two other people who are like, oh, that's definitely his son. We like this guy. And essentially, how it all kind of wraps up and setting up the next arc is that one of the sword bearers, like the place where one of the sword bearers is, gets attacked by the Shaku. And the sword bearer's on the run, but the place is like destroyed, and a bunch of... They also explain why the most powerful sorcerers were not around for the earlier arcs, which I think is a good way to explain that away, is that they've assigned all the super powerful sorcerers to protect the sword bearers. So, also, a bunch of supposedly really powerful people just got murked, like off-screen. Very JJK vibes, and I kind of love off-screening characters who like might be cool, because I think it just like it's funny when it makes people angry. That's my take on it. I would say this is a little bit of a downgrade from the last volume, just as far as like actual stuff going on, because it's more of like setup. The fight is cool. The fight is really awesome. So I'm gonna land this at a 7.5, which is I think what I've ranked every other volume before this. Unfortunately, but yeah, I'd say solid 7.5. Like, the fights are really good. The art is amazing. The art has been immaculate the last two volumes, but I just don't think this reaches the heights as far as character stuff as the last volume. It's not a reason to stop reading the series for sure. This is a hard recommend. I would say definitely I'm going to continue the series. If you're reading along, I say we continue it together until it gets to a point where it's not very good, but I've heard it gets better. So I'm really excited. I'm super enjoying it. I've also read a little bit that I guess Kagurabachi's anime, they confirmed the studio. So I'm really hoping that in this coming year, maybe we get to see a trailer or something. That would be really cool. But yeah, it's probably not going to be till February till I continue my journey with the series. Please try not to spoil me. But if you want to have a conversation about the first 5 volumes, the first kind of 2 arcs of the series in the comments, totally welcome for that. And yeah, I have some more videos planned, but other than that, that's kind of where it stands with Kagurabachi. I'm super enjoying it. I'm excited to read more. And yeah, that's about it. I guess like, comment, subscribe, all that bull. And if there's anything you think that I'd be interested in, or you'd like to see me talk about and review, if anybody watches this, I guess let me know that too. Otherwise, I have some stuff cooking that I think is really interesting. Some maybe what I would consider like interesting, slightly more obscure stuff from my comic and manga collection that I'd like to go over and show off and talk about. I think it might even be a little more interesting than the Kagurabachi stuff. Who knows? We'll see. Otherwise, take care. Peace.